Welcome back to the kitchen of Vivacious Dish. I'm Chef Kathryn, and today I'm going to be showing you a vivacious, basic, grain-free pancakes. I love pancakes, and it brings back some of the fondest memories I have cooking with my grandma. My grandparents used to live on a lake in Connecticut, so in the summers we would go canoe along the lake edge and pick wild blueberries, and my favorite thing to do with those was to bring them back and to create beautiful pancakes with them. When I went grain-free, I was definitely missing that feeling and flavor on a Sunday morning of having pancakes. So I created this recipe to kind of recapture some of that deliciousness. And so let's get started. We're going to take the almond meal we made in a recent video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. This is really easy to make and an awesome staple for any of your grain-free baking. And then I also have some cashew milk here that's also homemade, and you can watch that in another video as well on my YouTube channel. So we're going to get started with a half cup. This is buckwheat flour. This definitely is going to have a nutty flavor in the pancakes, which I like. They kind of have a whole grain taste. You can also use coconut flour if you want a lighter flavor, but we're going to use buckwheat here. So we have a half cup of that and a half cup of almond meal. I love cinnamon in my pancakes. It's one of my favorite flavors. It adds nice spice and depth and a warming quality. So you want to use a half teaspoon of your cinnamon. It smells so good. And then a pinch of sea salt. Not too much, just to add a little bit of fluffiness and flavor to the pancakes. And then you're going to also add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. This will just help them keep their shape. So once you have all your dry ingredients, mix them up to get them nice and well combined. Now that we have our dry ingredients mixed together, I'm going to add 1 cup of our cashew milk. You can use any nut milk or regular milk that you like, but we'd keep it dairy-free around here, except for when we use butter, which we love. So a cup of milk, just a splash of vanilla to add a little bit of flavor in here. I'm using a teaspoon of butter. This butter I love. I get it from Spring Hill Cheese at the Hillcrest Farmers Market. If you haven't tried them and you live in San Diego, they're amazing. But what's important here is that this butter is unsalted and it's pasture raised. So these cows were grazing on pastures, eating lots of grass. And you can see from the yellow color of the butter that they had a lot of that green grass fueling their diet. So you're gonna use that melted in here. And then I have 1 egg. Again, this is a pastured chicken. So this chicken went out, roamed on pastures, had a great happy life, and it's been providing this beautiful egg for us as well. And bonus points if you find eggs that have a beautiful shell on them also. Okay, so we have our wet ingredients as well. We're just going to combine them with our whisk to get a nice batter going here. You can see that we have a beautiful, smooth pancake batter just like you expect. So let's take this over to the stove now, and I'll show you how to get these cranked up and cooked down for a perfect Sunday brunch. All right, now we're ready to cook these pancakes up. I have a little bit of pastured butter in my cast iron skillet here. I love cast iron because it's a throwback to cooking with grandma. It's also great because unlike your non-stick pans that are coated with chemical substances, Teflon that can flake off into your food, this is a really healthy way to prepare your food. So we have it heating over medium heat. I'm just gonna let that butter warm up a little bit. And then I'm gonna take a 1/4 cup measure just to scoop out a small amount of my batter. Get it into the pan here. And while you're waiting for those to start cooking, if you're making banana pancakes, you can sing some Jack Johnson. Otherwise, you can sprinkle on some blueberries. I'm using organic wild blueberries here, just like we used to gather with grandma, although these came from Trader Joe's, but you know, you do what you can. And then we're just gonna wait for those to start cooking. You know your pancakes are ready to flip when they start to puff up and get bubbles in the middle. Give them a nice little turn here. Beautiful and golden brown. We're gonna cook them just for a couple minutes more, and then I'll show you how to plate and enjoy. Our pancakes are looking gorgeous and they're ready to go. Show off that beautiful blueberry side of these babies. Turn off the stove. I'm gonna use a little bit of maple syrup on top of these. If you're feeling extra creative, you can put coconut flakes, some nuts, whatever inspires you on top. You could even make a blueberry sauce for these, but we're just gonna keep it straight up and fabulous. This one's for you, Grandma. Enjoy.